In the book I talk about Ofsted in positive terms, in the sense that inspection is a force for good.
Yeah.
But I think over time we've come to place too much store by it, and it almost believes its own validity. And I think Sir Michael Wilshaw might be well advised to sort of strip it back to bare wood and really ask some obvious questions, as he's doing about schools, about the inspection process itself. My feeling and my belief and my understanding from talking to head teachers is that an Ofsted inspection is less a process of consistent scrutiny and more a process of negotiation based on the assertiveness of the lead inspector and the head teacher.
Right.
And the outcome is a negotiation built on some data which is already suspect.
Yeah.
And
the exam data.
The exam data.
Raise online.
Yeah, raise online. Well, raise online comes from the exams. If we've got a Department for Education Secretary of State saying that GCSEs are suspect, then we've got to question the data that leads us forward to judgments about the validity of a school and the strength of a school.
Because in your book it was very striking, you talk about so-called outstanding schools actually not being so outstanding. I mean, they've played the game well. I mean, maybe you could explain, just perhaps I'm just characterising it unfairly what you say, but
I think there are many outstanding schools that fit the Ofsted measure, and good luck to them.
Yeah, yeah.
There are equally many schools that are not graded outstanding. In fact, they're deemed to need specific help, which actually displays some amazingly outstanding features.
Yeah.
My worry is that the terminology has bred a vocabulary, and the vocabulary breeds a type of conversation. And so the conversation leads us to the judgment, not the evidence of what's happening in schools. And I believe that there's been a regression to the mean over time. There are far less awful schools than there were 20 years ago. Far less. Or ropey schools.
Do you think
equally, I think there are far less splendid schools.
Right, yeah, because you talk about that in the book, don't you? So in a way, the exam system and the kind of accountability measures have sort of driven up standards, but they've also had other positive and negative effects. I mean, what are your thoughts? Or I'm again getting that wrong? Because
the accountability stakes are so high, examinations and assessment, SATs, assume such enormous importance that for many children the preparation for the SATs and the preparation for the GCSEs is less about learning and more about ticking the boxes to achieve the required grade so that your school benefits and you as a school achieve. And in some ways that's good, but what we have to question is whether it's good to say good to hear a year 10 saying, finished, I've got my level C and I'll never have to do history again, or I'll never have to do English again. And it's such a shame, because what you surely want is youngsters leaving school saying, I can't wait to study more history, more geography. I may not want to study geography, but it's a lifelong interest. I may not want to study science, but I am fascinated by the natural world and the way we interpret that in everyday life. And I just think that we're sort of missing the point of education by striving for evidence that our schools are better. And I would want no child ever to leave school not being able to read, write, manage numbers, speak easily, be confident enough to step through a threshold into a new setting. So surely we've got to find ways to do that which sustain the children forever, rather than simply give us the chart that looks like it's making progress.